Hey everyone, it's Marky here. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of internet infrastructure. Ever wondered why the main internet cables are laid in the ocean? Let's break it down. These cables form the backbone of the internet, crisscrossing the ocean floor. They handle immense data, withstand pressure, and connect continents. From streaming shows to video calls, these cables are essential, so why not satellites? It's about physics, economics, and history. Stick around as we unravel the secrets beneath the waves. Let's dive in. Let's talk about cost. Laying cables across the ocean floor can be more cost-effective than over land. Land cables face diverse terrains and multiple national borders. Acquiring land and permits is complex and expensive. Underwater, the right-of-way issues are simplified. Specialized ships deploy cables, avoiding major obstacles. The ocean floor provides a relatively unobstructed path. The initial investment is high, but per-kilometer cost is competitive. Underwater repeaters are built into the cable, powered from landing stations. These projects are backed by large telecommunication companies, pooling resources. All right, let's talk speed. Speed here means data throughput and latency. Minimizing latency is critical for real-time applications. Think about video calls, gaming, and trading. Submarine cables excel because light travels fast and routes are direct. Oceanic routes are often shorter than land-based ones. For example, New York to London via the Atlantic. This is more direct than routing but through multiple countries. Light in fiber optic cables travels at 2/3 the speed of light. Shorter paths mean lower latency. This directness is a fundamental advantage. Satellites have major latency issues. Geostationary satellites orbit at about 35,786 kilometers. Signals travel this distance twice, plus horizontal distance. This results in a minimum latency of around 240 milliseconds. Now let's consider reliability. The global internet backbone needs to be incredibly robust and dependable. Downtime can have massive economic and social consequences. The deep ocean floor provides a stable environment for these critical cables. This reduces the risk of accidental physical disruption. On land, cables face issues like construction, vandalism, and severe weather. The deep ocean floor is less active in terms of human interference. Most faults occur in shallower waters, often due to fishing or anchors. Cables in these areas are often buried for protection. In the deep ocean, cables usually lie on the seabed. The deep sea environment minimizes plant and animal interference. Maintenance is another aspect. Repairing submarine cables is complex and expensive but infrequent. The cables are engineered for extreme durability with multiple layers of protection. The internet is, by its very definition, a global network of networks. And for it to be truly global, there needs to be a way to connect continents separated by vast oceans. This is where submarine cables become not just an option, but an absolute necessity. They are the primary enablers of intercontinental digital communication, forming the high-capacity bridges that allow data to flow seamlessly between nations and people across the world. Without them, the internet as we know it today simply wouldn't exist. Think about the sheer volume of data that traverses oceans every second. Emails, websites, video streams, cloud computing data, financial transactions. It all adds up to an astronomical amount. Satellites, while useful for broadcasting or reaching very remote, isolated locations, simply do not have the bandwidth capacity to handle this kind of bulk data transfer between major population centers across continents. A single modern submarine fiber optic cable can carry terabits or even petabits of data per second. That's orders of magnitude more than what satellite constellations can currently offer for point-to-point intercontinental links. This ability to link continents with high-capacity pathways is fundamental to the modern globalized economy. Businesses rely on these connections for everything from supply chain management to international collaboration among employees. Cloud services, which are increasingly central to how businesses and individuals store and process data, depend on data centers that are globally distributed but interconnected by these massive undersea pipes. If you're accessing a website hosted in Europe from the US or vice versa, chances are your data is zipping through one or more of these cables. Let's delve into the sheer capacity of these underwater behemoths. When we talk about bandwidth, we're referring to the amount of data that can be transmitted over a connection in a given amount of time. Modern submarine fiber optic cables are the undisputed champions of high-capacity data transmission over long distances. The amount of information they can carry is truly staggering, and it's a key reason why they form the backbone of the internet, easily outpacing alternatives for bulk data transit. At the heart of this incredible capacity is, of course, fiber optic technology. These cables contain multiple pairs of optical fibers, each thinner than a human hair. Data is transmitted as pulses of light through these fibers. What makes fiber optics so powerful is their ability to carry vast amounts of data with very little signal loss or attenuation over long distances, especially when using specific wavelengths of light. This means signals can travel further before needing amplification, which is crucial for transoceanic spans. A single fiber pair in a modern submarine cable can carry terabits of data per second. To put that in perspective, 1 terabit per second is equivalent to transmitting about 25,000 high-definition movies simultaneously, and a typical submarine cable will contain multiple fiber pairs, sometimes dozens. It's fascinating to realize that the concept of laying cables across oceans isn't actually new to the internet age. In fact, it has a rich history that dates back to the mid-19th century with the advent of the telegraph. This historical precedence played a significant role in establishing the feasibility and even the routes for the submarine communication cables we rely on today. The pioneers of telegraphy faced immense challenges, but their successes paved the way for future intercontinental communication. The first successful transatlantic telegraph cable was laid in 1866, connecting North America and Europe. This was a monumental achievement at the time, reducing communication times between continents from weeks. The time it took for a ship to cross 2 mere minutes. Imagine the impact of that. It revolutionized international business, diplomacy, and news dissemination. The engineering challenges were enormous. Manufacturing a cable strong enough to survive laying and the ocean depths, designing insulation to prevent signal loss, and the sheer logistics of deploying thousands of kilometers of cable from ships. Finally, let's consider a less obvious but equally important factor: political and regulatory simplicity. Laying any kind of major infrastructure is a complex undertaking, often involving a bureaucratic maze of permits, approvals, and negotiations. When you're trying to connect continents, doing so primarily through international waters offers some distinct advantages in navigating this red tape compared to purely terrestrial routes spanning multiple sovereign nations. The vast majority of a submarine cable's length typically lies in international waters. Under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, all states have the right to lay submarine cables and pipelines on the continental shelf and in the high seas. While coastal states have rights and responsibilities within their exclusive economic zones and territorial waters, the framework for laying cables is generally well established and provides a degree of freedom not found when trying to cross land borders. Imagine trying to negotiate a land-based cable route from, say, Western Europe to East Asia. You'd have to secure agreements and rights of way through numerous countries, each with its own legal system, political climate, property laws, and potential for instability or conflict. The process could take years, if it's even feasible at all, and be subject to the shifting political winds in any one of those transit countries. So there you have it, folks. Oceanic cables are the backbone of our global internet, balancing speed, cost, reliability, and scalability. It's pretty clear that these underwater marvels are not just a convenient option, but a fundamental necessity for the way our modern world operates. From the economic efficiencies of laying them across vast open seabeds, to the incredible speeds they offer by providing the shortest, most direct paths for data, the advantages are compelling. They are the unsung heroes of our digital age, silently and efficiently powering our connected lives. The sheer reliability offered by the stable deep-sea environment, coupled with the immense bandwidth capacity of fiber optic technology, means that these cables can handle the ever-increasing demands of global data traffic. Add to that the historical precedent and the relative political simplicity of navigating international waters, and it becomes evident why the ocean floor is home to these critical arteries of communication. It's a complex interplay of engineering, physics, economics, and even a bit of international law, all working together to keep us connected. Next time you're streaming a video, joining an international call, or just browsing a website hosted on another continent, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey your data is taking, likely through thousands of kilometers of these sophisticated submarine cables. They truly are the hidden infrastructure that makes our global village possible. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech insights. I'll catch you in the next one.